All right, I'm going to go over your theme options as well as how to edit these areas up here in the top area. So the theme options are pretty easy. You can just go under Customize, and it'll open up the page theme options, or under Appearance and Customize if your toolbar is turned off. So again, if you go to Appearance, Customize, this is where you're going to find all the theme options. And this is where you would change things: logo, overall fonts, your copyright text, etc. So we kind of broke them down into sections. So for instance, let's say we wanted to edit our logo, you would go header, and then logo, and you can do all sorts of things like adjust the logo size, the margin above and below it, all sorts of things like that. Voila. So, it's pretty easy for the theme options, and you can play around with a lot of these. One thing to note, you do have options for the top header as well. So you can adjust the color of links, sub-navigation, all of that up here under top header options. And if you wanted to completely remove it, just go ahead and click off, and it's going to hide that top header for you. So top header is optional. Don't worry too much about it. You can turn it on and off as needed right there. So that's going to cover the top header and the theme options overall. Again, things like your navigation, if you want to adjust the colors, you can easily do that in the theme options. So let's go and once you're ready, you can click Save or Publish, or you can just close out of it, and it won't save any of the changes that you made. So I just briefly wanted to go over the options real quick. You can play around with those. I think the most common question is going to be how to edit this and how to edit that. So let's start with the top left. So this is actually a widget area, and these are little text widgets up here. So what that means is if you go under Appearance and Widgets, and the widget area you're going to want to look for is header top left. And you'll see we have 3 widgets here, and if you click the down arrow, they'll show you what's inside. So for instance, we have a little icon, and then the phone number. So you can adjust these as need be. Here we have a link to an email address, so you would just type in your email address here and here. And same with the address there. And you can link to a Google map as well. We can have that built in as well if you wanted to. But that's going to cover how to easily edit those. So for instance, let's just add in a fake number. And we click Save. Once we're ready, now if we view the site in another tab, so we can tab back and forth, you'll see I updated the phone number. Now let's say we wanted to get rid of that icon. Just delete that icon code, click Save, and that's how you would get rid of the icon if you wanted to get rid of the icon. Now let's say you wanted to add a different icon, you're using some sort of, other thing. Let's say you wanted your Facebook address up there. So if we typed in our Facebook address, for instance, and then your user ID, now let's say you wanted to have a Facebook icon in front of that. Now the place you're going to want to go for that is Font Awesome. And if you go to fontawesome.io/icons, these are the same icons we use in the navigation, and you can use any of these 600 icons. So there actually is a Facebook icon. So let's say we wanted to have that Facebook icon. You just click on it, and it gives you the little icon code, so you can just copy that. And if we paste that in front, and I accidentally overwrote the HTTP part. But if we do that, you can just click Save and refresh, and now you have yourself your little Facebook icon and user ID. So it's pretty easy, and of course, if you don't want one of these up here, you can just drag it off to the left, and it'll remove it. So I just removed the address one, so if we, you can see that's kind of how you can remove items. Now the one in the top right is actually a navigation menu. So you can edit that under Appearance and Menus. And if you look for the top right navigation menu, you can edit that menu. For instance, let's go ahead and add a page to it real quick. Sponsors, save it. And now when we refresh, you'll see there's a sponsors link up there. And if you want more directions on how to edit this area or the navigation menus, check out that section of the documentation over navigation menus. But that's going to kind of cover how to have that up there. And you can actually switch these around too if you wanted to. For instance, add a navigation menu to the top left instead. You can do that under Manage Locations. If you want to have a navigation menu on the left or widgets on the right, same thing. There are options for that built in.